Morning, everybody. It's Gary here, and for a new exciting episode this morning. This one's a good one. It's one I've been thinking a lot about for a long time, even before I even thought about doing a podcast. It's a subject that we all can relate to, and something we've all experienced over a course of a lifetime. And it's entitled crop dusting. And I'm not talking about flying a plane over a bunch of fields and delivering some pesticides. It's a whole different type of crop dusting. So let me start out when let's take it back to when you're a kid, boy or girl, and you're in your formidable years. Let's say you're second, third, fourth grade, hanging out with your buddies, doing stuff, hanging out, hiking, playing in the yard, whatever, and going hiking in the woods, because I used to do that a lot. When I grew up in Connecticut, there was woods everywhere. We'd go hiking in the woods. Well, there's usually one or two kids that learn how to fart. I think they all do. They all know how to do it. Some are just hide it better than others. But there's other kids that say, hey, pull my finger, and it comes out, right? That's a ha-ha funny thing when you're a kid. And most people grow out of that type of behavior as they get older. I mean, I think it continues to go on through high school. But after high school and even after college, you become more of an adult, more mature. That's not so funny anymore. It's kind of something like you're embarrassed because you could be dating someone and if you got something coming on, you feel like kind of gassy and you let one fly. It could end a really good date. Which brings me to a subject all by itself out there, But the point I'm making today is this: I have learned as an adult, because I'm twisted. I think left to center, and I sugarcoat nothing. Most of my close friends know this about me. So anyway, protein-based foods is what I've learned will give you flatulence of biblical proportions. It will give you gas so powerful that if you're in the bed by yourself, you have to fan the flames and sometimes leave the bedroom and open a window because the stench hangs in the air so bad you can't handle your own gas. And if you can't handle your own, then you got a weapon to use to your advantage. I mean, you can start out with something as simple as, let's say, backstory here. I used to belong to Gold's Gym years ago. This is back in my 30s. And these muscle necks, these guys that are hardcore bodybuilders, they know that protein builds muscle. And these guys are smashing down a ton of protein-based foods. Chicken, beef, ground beef, tuna. I've seen guys take cans of tuna and open them up and dump them in a blender, blend it up with some water and chug it down. How nasty is that? But it's protein-based. And so when you get enough protein in you, it helps build muscle. It's a fact. Go to any Men's Health magazine, open up the pages, and they always say protein, 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 protein. It gives you gas. And if you find out exactly what kind of protein, it all gives you gas. But if you can scientifically do the math and find out which types of protein give you the worst gas, then you're golden. If you're me, of course, then you're golden. Let's say you're dating someone. This is where you can use gas to your advantage. Let's say you're in a relationship and it's not going the way you want it to go. It's not, you don't want to let her down easy. You don't want to let her down hard. You don't have the balls to say, hey, this is not working for me. You don't want to ghost her because that's infantile and immature. You don't want to stop communicating with her because, again, that's infantile and immature. But you want to do it tactfully so you don't hurt her feelings or break her heart. You can do it one of two ways. let's say you've been dating this person for, let's just give it a number, 6 months. You know, I've already been there. You've taken your relationship to the next level. She has spent the night. You spent the night with her. You're really getting to know each other well. You're into the relationship. You're into the beefy end of the relationship. You know, and it's just not going your way. Let's just say, for instance, it's like not going your way. What you do, I'll use myself as an example. Let's say it's not going my way. And if for some reason there's something about the relationship that just feels off. And I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it. There might be a couple things, but I can't pinpoint one. And I don't want to be with this person anymore. That's when I start eating a lot of protein. What works for me is protein bars. Are like, I'm not going to name the brand because I don't want to advertise anyone's product on this. But you can buy it at a grocery store or a health food store. It's a protein bar, and it's like chocolate covered with peanut butter inside. It's the chocolate covered and then the peanut butter inside, packed with 20 grams of protein that does it. One bar in the morning won't do it. Excuse me. One bar in the morning won't do it. I would need probably, and you have to have coffee. So the way I weaponize my body is this: 2 protein bars with coffee in the morning. No, nothing else. No other food. 2 protein bars, 40 grams of protein of this particular bar. It's got to have the chocolate and peanut butter combination. And a cup of coffee. That gets your day going. That gets, for some reason, it goes with me. That's what my ingredient is. And then let's say I'm on my way to pick her up. I smash down another protein bar. Chug it down with some water. And then I'm close to getting to her house, and I smash down one more protein bar. Now, this is, to smash these down, you got to chase it with water because they're dense, you know? So I'm like, smash it down with some more water. I figure, okay, the date's going to last. We're going to dinner with some of her girlfriends and their guy friends. So it's like 4 couples. And one of the ladies in the group that she knows belongs to a local country club. So we're going to a nice place. And I've not met any of her friends yet. This is where it gets really good. I've not met any of her girlfriends yet, or their prospective others, their boyfriends. And I had to wear khakis and a nice dress shirt. I hate getting dressed up. If you noticed on my shows, I wear a lot of black. I love to wear black. And if you open up my closet, I got a walk-in closet over there. One whole side is nice cotton black t-shirts on coat hangers. All the way down the line, like 30 of them. I press them. I'm out of the dryer. I press them. I wear black t-shirts. That's what I like to wear. I wear black. Anyway, so I had to wear a dress shirt. It really sucked ass, but I did. I had to wear a dress shirt, which, by the way, was black. So we get there. We're sitting at the table, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting on my system to kick in. It hasn't kicked in yet. And this is back when I was still drinking beer. And I discovered that beer sometimes helps ignite the system with the protein bars. But it's only generally the night before. So I'm going to back up a little bit. If I drink of like 3 or 4 beers the night before, then wake up in the morning, have my coffee and 3 protein bars, you can't come near me within 20 feet the whole day. I mean, I'm exuding some nasty stuff all day. So I'm on this date, and I said, yeah, I'll take a draft. And it's not, draft beer is like a killer. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. What do you got on draft? And they're all looking at me like, draft? They're drinking mixed drinks and bottled beer. I'll take a 20-ounce draft. Oh, sir, the largest we have is 16 ounce. Oh, well, I'll take a 16-ounce draft beer, please. And so I figured that's going to help. Sure as shit, it did. It helped. So now we finished our appetizers, and I could feel the gurgling in my stomach. I'm thinking, oh, yeah. This is part of the plan on the date. This is the way to get rid of her, right? So, one starts to come. Now, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Anything over the age of 40, you got to be careful not to push anything else. If you're sitting at a table or wherever you are, walking around at a club or out at a festival or wherever, in public, over the age of 40, there's a saying, you can't trust a fart. What I mean by that is, you guys know what I'm talking about, you ladies too. But the ladies are, oh no, my farts smell like rose petals. I dated a girl one time that said that. My farts smell like rose petals. Bullshit. Your shit stinks. I've smelled it. Anyway, if you feel a fart coming, don't try to coax it along and push it out. Because you might get a little bit more than you bargained for. Then you're in fucking trouble. Because then you shit yourself. And if you're in public, then you're fucked. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was a ball and came out, it's easy to retrieve it. But if it's wet, and you got a wet fart coming out, and a wet turd comes with it, you better pray you weren't wearing khakis that were tan in color, or you're gonna be fucking embarrassed as hell. You'd have to leave the party. It's called sharding. Of course, you all know what sharding is, but that's what it is. It's a shart when you fart and you shit at the same time. So you can't trust that. You gotta let it naturally flow. So I'm sitting here now, present day. I'm at dinner at this country club. I'm almost done with the whole beer. Everyone else is still working on it. Now, when I was a drinker, I would drink. I wasn't an alcoholic, far from it. But I like drinking beer, and I would drink them fast. I would drink 3 or 4 of them really fast and be done. Done. I got to where I needed to be. I feel good. I'm done. I'm not gonna tear into 12 beers like some people I know. So I'm almost done with the 16-ouncer. Waiter comes by. He goes, "Oh, sir, would you like another beer?" Yes, please. Yes, I think I will. Thank you. My date leans over and she goes, honey, you need to slow down a little bit on the beers, okay? You are driving. I was like, look, I got this. Don't worry about that. And as I'm leaning in talking to her, one slides out. And it's not just a slider, it's a burner. And for people that know what I'm talking about, when it slides out and it burns a little bit, you know you got a winner. A burner is usually accompanied by a stench so bad, it not only makes your nose hairs curl, but it makes your eyes water. And that's what happened. I leaned forward to talk to her, and it, quick, it's like, and it clamped shut and let it fly. I'm like, oh my God, this ought to be good. It was behind me. It's behind me, and she was here. She was here, and that was behind me. I leaned back in my chair, and I could smell it. I could smell it. And it was a good one. It was a hanger. Now, a hanger, for those who don't know what a hanger is one that when you let it fly and it hangs, I'm 6'2". If I'm standing up, the hanger's catching me right at the chin. I'm getting remnants up here, but the real force is right around 6 feet, 6'2", 6'1". It's right in there. That's where the hanger sits. And so now this was a hanger, and it was behind me. And all of a sudden I hear her say, "Oh my God, what's that smell? What is that smell?" She turns to her boyfriend and goes, "I was just about to ask you." So now they're going at. They don't know where the smell came from. "Oh my God, what is that? What is that?" And then the girl taps me on the shoulder. She goes, "Do you smell that?" I'm like, "Yeah, what is that?" I said to my date, "What is that smell?" She goes, "Oh my God, Gary, was that you? Honey, was that you? That was you, wasn't it? You couldn't hold it. What the hell's wrong with you? It's my friends." And she's not saying it really loud. But I'm busted, right? But I didn't care about being busted. I wanted to be busted. "Gary, that was you, wasn't it? God, don't you have any class? My God, don't do that again." And everyone at the table, everyone that, it was a big oval table. They're all like waving their towels. It was a hanger. I mean, it hung. It hung in the air for a good 30 seconds. And it just dissipated because, unfortunately, above us were these giant ceiling fans just blowing the shit around. So about a minute passes, and I don't know where it was moving it to. Because when you got a hanger, it takes up its own space in the air. I can't explain it, but it moves like a cloud. Like if you're watching Doppler you're watching a Doppler TV show on the weather pattern. It's like a weather pattern. It's a cloud. It will move somewhere else. It's just not going to, a regular fart that's not a burner is going to disperse. But a hanger, it's going to move real slow. Real slow. And I got a minute goes by, and I don't know which way it went. I'm assuming it went right. It's just because I was facing that way. Well, here's a table. Here's a table of guys down near the window, overlooking the 18th tee. And I hear one of the guys goes, "Oh my God, who did that?" Real loud. Real loud. We all heard him say, "Well, who did that?" He's talking to his buddies. And he's like, "I didn't do it." "Well, I didn't do it." And then some guy said, "Well, he who smelt it dealt it." And these guys are laughing. And the guy's waving his towel. "Oh my God. Oh my God." Mission accomplished. It traveled. It was the first time it ever traveled like that for me. It was beautiful. And I turned to my left, and here's my date. And she's just eyeballing me. "Oh, wait till I get you home. This is totally unacceptable, Gary. This is unacceptable." Now she starts to raise her voice. I said, "Keep your voice down. It wasn't me." And now people on the table are looking at me. She goes, "Did you do that? Did you do that?" But I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think she probably did it, but she's not going to say she did it. So she's going to, of course, blame the guy, right? So I had to get my coffee. It's 6 o'clock in the morning here today. I've slept in an extra hour, so. All right, I get my coffee. It's my second cup of coffee already. But let's go to present day. Let's say I'm at a hardware store. And I'm walking down one of the aisles. And I love doing this at hardware stores because you go to these big box stores. Big box hardware stores. And I'm going down one aisle and I know I got gas. I know I'm feeling it, and I've got them. They're just, and once one flies out, they just start flying. And this goes all day long. This goes all day long. I know about anyone else but me. I don't even have to coax them. They just keep on flying. Especially if I had 3 protein bars and 2 cups of coffee anywhere I'm going. And I walk down an aisle, and here's this couple, an older couple, and they're going over paint swatches and stuff with a decorator down one of these aisles. And I walk past them really slow and I keep walking. That sound as my ass cheeks clamping shut. And I walk past them and I get down to the end of the aisle and I turn and you can see that it has hit them, and they're in pain. They're just like doing this, and they're backing up, and they're very uncomfortable. You can see that the 3 people, the husband and the wife, that were elderly people, and the young lady that was helping them with this paint swatches, they're all looking around, and they're backing up, and they're making the once tightly trifecta circle, what it was is spreading out more and more because they're trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. And they're dying. They're dying. Because the hanger doesn't lie. It hangs in the air. And so I used to call it crop dusting. That's where I got the term crop dusting. You could weaponize yourself. And you can really do some damage in public. I used it a lot when I worked at the grocery store. When I worked at my company. Because I would be out there rolling a dolly of meat out, and there'd be people lined all along the case trying to get in there. And I'm trying to get my meat put in the case. And if I happen to be in there one day and I got gas really bad, and I know they're hangers and I know they're burners, I'm using that to my advantage. And I would just slide along. Psst, 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 psst. It was just like that. And I'm not lying. That's how it felt. Especially if you've got a really well-oiled machine that's burning them out. Psst, psst. Get down to the end of the case, walk in the back, throw some boxes in the baler, come back out, and the whole section is empty. People are away from the case. And I'm walking through it, and I can still smell the remnants of what I laid down. It's beautiful. They aren't going to hang around for that. They get the hell out of the way. They come back like a minute later when it's gone. Because the circulation in the store blows it all around. But those are hangars. They're going to go somewhere else. They might go over that way or they might go over that way. But they're hangars. They work to your advantage. So I did it at work sometimes, but I did it a lot in public. Or like, for instance, I used to love doing this. My dad used to work downtown, and occasionally I'd go down to see him. And his company, his company was up on the 4th floor of this building. And I'd go down there to see his. He had a new office, and he wanted me to come down and see his new office. So I went down to see his new office one day. I mean, I didn't hang out with my dad very often, But anyway, he called me and goes, "Hey, what's your off day this week? I want you to see my new office, son." I said, "Well, I happen to be off on Friday." He goes, "Well, come on down. I'm on the 4th floor of this building. Come on down." I said, "What time?" He goes, "Well, what about lunchtime? I'll be upstairs taking my lunch in my office. I got a beautiful view of the river. Come on over at lunchtime." And I'm thinking, I'm at home, and this is in the morning. I'm thinking Friday morning, it's like 6 o'clock. I get up, I'm having my coffee, and I'm thinking, and I was working out with weights at the time, so that's why I got into the protein bars. And I still have protein bars. So I said, "Hey, noontime, there's going to be an elevator. See where my mind's going here? There's going to be an elevator, and people are going to be either leaving different floors to go out for lunch somewhere or going back up to work." So I figured I'd get down there at around 11:45. And of course, I ingest 3 protein bars, a cup of coffee, and a cup of coffee on the way downtown. Get to the parking garage, go into the lobby, look on the little chart, what office my old man's in. Oh, there it is. He said 4th floor, but I wanted to make sure. And I'm hanging out down there waiting for my body to start talking to me. I had to wait about 30 minutes. So now it's like 12:15. I'm a little disappointed that 3 protein bars and a couple cups of coffee wasn't kicking in by now. It took a while to kick in. So I said, screw it, I'll go upstairs anyway. The minute that door opened, I could feel it brewing. I'm like, oh, yes. But there was no one in the elevator. No one was coming in behind me. I said, that's all right, I'll go up anyway. Well, on up, I went into my dad's office. His secretary was at the front. She said hello to me. She walked me back to my old man's office, and he's sitting there. He's showing me the building. He's showing me the whole floor. It was big. He had the whole floor of his business. And I figured now it's about 1 o'clock. I said, "Hey, Pops, I'm going to get going. Thanks for give me the grand tour. It was really nice." And I could feel I'm getting labor cramps. I could feel it coming. I mean, it's starting to really cramp up. And I'm thinking, oh, this is beautiful. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. And so it's 1 o'clock, and I'm walking out, getting the elevator. Now, when I get in this building had like 10 floors. I don't know, but I think it was like 10 floors. And I get into the elevator on the 4th floor, and everyone's going down, and there's like 3 people in the elevator. Well, I get in the elevator, and I hit 9, going up. I didn't need to go up, but there was a plan behind what I was doing. So I go up to the 9th floor, and I get out, and it was an empty floor. It wasn't developed yet. It was a new building, and there was like these yellow tape everywhere, and you could hear drills going on in the back, and this guy walks out with a hard hat on. "Can I help you?" I said, "Oh, I must have mistakenly got off the wrong floor." He goes, "Yeah, the 9th and 10th floor aren't developed yet. Yeah, you need to go back down." I said, "Oh, okay." So now it's even better because now it's brewing. So now I get back in the elevator. Now the elevator's empty. I go down a few floors, and like 5 people get on. Now this had been the 6th floor. 5 people get on. Now they can't blame me because there's 5 people on board, and I let one fly. Quick, a hanger, a burner, and then once it gets out, I can smell it first, but the people behind me, I know they're in pain. I know they're in pain because they're turning to the wall, and they're trying to get near a crease to smell the wall, to try to get air from the outside. And the people in front of me, one guy says, "God almighty. God. Who did that?" He's real loud. Who did that? I said, yeah, I smell it too, man. I don't know who the hell did it. That's pretty disgusting. And now everyone's trying to look at each other like, who did it? It was bad. It was a hanger. It hung in that. It hung. And then we get to the next floor. Now we're picking people up, going down to the lobby, which is number one. By the time we get down to the lobby, there's like 8 people on this elevator car. And they're all dying. They're all dying. That door opens up, they flood out, and they run. Pretty much like that. But it's fun to use. I highly suggest it. I highly recommend it. That if you can get your body to a point where you can clear a room, I would use it. So, backtracking to my date that night, because it was really kind of cool. It worked out perfectly for me. So we're driving home. I've already had 2 beers. I could drive fine with 2 beers. And back in the day when I was drinking more than 2 beers, in my glove box I had an eye patch. And I would put the eye patch over one eye so I wouldn't see double driving home. It was really it was my idea. I came up with the idea all by myself. And I used that eye patch a few times when I was designated driver and we were all drinking down Main Street. I said, fuck it, I'll drive. Get in the back, guys. Get the eye patch out. Hey, get my eye patch out of the glove box. I'm good to go. And, it works. You don't see double. You don't cross. You don't go left to center. So we're going home. I didn't have the eye patch on because I wasn't even drunk. I was just not even buzzed, But 2 beers didn't do it to me, And she squawked the whole way home. You know how embarrassing that was, Gary. It was so embarrassing for me. Don't you have any class? I can't believe it. In front of all my friends. And I said, look, how do you know it was me? How did they know it was me? How did they know it was me? Well, I could just, I know they wouldn't do it. I said, well, why wouldn't they do it? Why wouldn't they do it? Maybe it's one of them. She goes, but I know it was you, Gary. You admitted it. I said, well, I admitted it to you. But they didn't know it was me. You squawked enough to let everyone know that it was me, for Christ's sakes. It kind of ended there. It was mission accomplished because I was done with her anyway. And I wanted her to break up with me. And she had a good rant. She just stopped calling. I figured it out the next day. I called her, left her voicemail. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Just calling to say hello, seeing how your day is going. It was a weekend, so I called. I knew she was off on the weekend. She had a job where she worked downtown, worked 9 to 5s. Banker's hours. Call her, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to give out any names. Blah, blah, blah. How you doing this morning? Hope you slept well and you're not mad at me anymore, honey. I miss you. Kisses. Bye. Click. Oh, I was really buttering it up, right? I never heard back from her. Ever. And I think about 3 weeks later, I tried to call her again. The number you are calling has been disconnected or changed. Please check your number. But she changed her number on me. Oh, it's great. Beautiful. So, men and women out there that are in bad marriages, relationships, engaged, and you want to break up the engagement and get your fucking ring back so you get your money back because you were drunk when you bought the wedding ring in Vegas. Eat protein bars. You can drink milk with that because milk works as well as beer. Drink milk with the protein bars. That really fires it up. Milk or beer. I don't even try not a wine drinker, but I imagine any kind of alcohol would work. And yeah, fire yourself up. Fire up the system. Vroom, vroom. It's like a 2-pull start. And that fucking colon gets going and your body starts rolling. And they fly. And you get a flyer and a hanger. And it just, people are literally in pain. Literally in pain. So I'm glad we covered this today. I mean, I can go on and on and on about different experiences I had over the years and how I literally polluted areas. Literally polluted areas at weddings, first communions, church. I used to go to church. Years ago, I used to go to church and it was before I learned how to control it. It would make a noise. Before I learned anything about protein intake, it would let one fly in the middle of the sermon. Usually my mom was sitting next to me. She goes, Gary, shame on you. We're in church. So, but yeah, if you learn how to get the protein intake and the right amount of diet to get your body flatulence in check, and be careful, don't push it out. Don't push it out, because you might get more than what you bargained for. You might get something wet that comes with it. And if that happens, you're screwed. You are totally fucking screwed. So, glad we all had this conversation today. Maybe you learned something today. Try to weaponize yourself. Great way to get out of a relationship. I highly recommend it. That way you don't have to be the bad guy, or you don't have to be the bad girl. Just fart. Don't make it a slider and a hanger. And they'll be done with you. Done. Anyway, more of my sick humor. You all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.